What's up, everybody? It's Josh again here with your TAW Recap as I go through all the happenings in TAW, from TAW Action to TAW Rivals and finally TAW UCT, and anything interesting that happened in between those. But we're starting off with the TAW Action episode from October 16th, 2016, as we kicked off the show with Turles' Hardcore Championship Open Challenge. And the person, or thing, that accepted the challenge was none other than King Kong himself. And this was a brutal matchup, weapon shots all around. But finally, in the end, King Kong accidentally put himself through a table, allowing Turles to hit a few well-timed top rope elbow drops in order to secure the victory and once again retain his championship. But after the match, Venom came out and assaulted the champion, attempting to cash in on the 24/7 rules, but before he could make the pin off the Symbiote Buster, the current number one contender for the Hardcore title, Michael Myers, came out and stopped him, and powerbombed him out of the ring, and pretty much saving Turles' title, pretty much sending a message that he wants to be the one to take the title away from Turles. Up next, we had Sweet Tooth versus Superman. Sweet Tooth won half of the Tag Team Champions as he prepares for his tag title defense against Superman and the Incredible Hulk. This match was pretty much one-sided. Superman was in control for a lot of it, and nailed two diving leg drops to the back of the head before finishing off Sweet Tooth with the Kryptonian Hammer. So this far in the show, one half of the Tag Team Champions have been defeated by one half of the number one contenders. Up next was Deadpool versus America Kane in a one-on-one matchup, and America Kane almost got the win with a choke slam, but Deadpool was able to turn it around with a well-timed schoolboy, and as soon as America Kane kicked out of it, Deadpool hooked him with the Weapon X and got the pinfall, as he prepares to face off against the molecular champion Dracula at No Escape. And up next was a very, very, very brutal matchup and seemingly one-sided as Broly faced off against Mario. Now, the reason for this match was Luigi chose an opponent for Mario, and if Mario won, he would have joined the Lightning Weight Championship match at No Escape, making it a triple threat. It was him, Luigi, and Sonic. Now, this match immediately started off bad because Broly speared him right out of the gate and beat the crap out of him for a lot of the match. Mario got some offense here and there, but it was really one-sided. And eventually Luigi came out to the ringside area himself in order to help distract Mario and help Broly get the win. However, Bane, Broly's rival, came out and evened the playing field, and distracted Broly, allowing Mario to get one of the biggest upsets in TAW history with a big Hurricane Rana, as Mario was able to secure the win and earn himself a championship opportunity. And of course, Broly was not happy about that. But we're going to see Broly versus Bane at No Escape, which is going to be a great matchup. And up next was the Statue of Liberty versus Katniss Everdeen. And Statue of Liberty just pretty much eviscerated Katniss Everdeen as she continues to just dominate on her road to challenging Android 18 at No Escape for the Femme Fatale Championship. And Statue of Liberty, of course, defeated Katniss Everdeen with the Liberty Bomb. And up next was probably the most uncomfortable part of the show. Zack Ryder was going to face off against Ronald McDonald in a singles matchup, but before the match even started, Freddy Krueger came out and attacked Zack Ryder brutally, just assaulting him. And then he grabbed a microphone and told Liu Kang that if he did not accept his challenge for No Escape, which would be putting his title shot at Riot Central 2 on the line, he would give Zack Ryder a concerto, which he eventually did, because Liu Kang did come out and accept that challenge, which led to Freddy Krueger giving Zack Ryder the concerto anyway, concussing Zack Ryder. So Liu Kang tried to come out and make the save, but he was too late. But then Freddy Krueger attacked Liu Kang from behind, laying him out with a Nightmare on Elm Street DDT, as we have Liu Kang versus Freddy Krueger set up for No Escape. And up next was Pennywise, the second half of the Tag Team Champions, versus the Incredible Hulk. And much like the first matchup, which was Sweet Tooth versus Superman, the Incredible Hulk dominated Pennywise for a lot of the match and eventually put him away with the Gamma Bomb. So both number one contenders were able to knock off both champions, and which may be pretty telling of what's going to happen in No Escape. We may be looking at new Tag Team Champions. And then our main event of the show, Frieza defended the TAW World Heavyweight Championship against Dante, where they're pretty much preparing for No Escape, because a lot of things are going to go down at No Escape concerning the TAW Championship. And it was a close back-and-forth battle, which included Dante putting Frieza through the announce table, which is absolutely insane. However, as soon as he did that, Phil, Dante's longtime rival, came out and knocked out the referee, and then a whole bunch of interference happened, including Gohan trying to come out and help, but then the Joker came out and assaulted Dante and gave him the Joker driver on top of a chair, allowing Frieza to get back in the ring and lay Dante out with the Death Ball, and then pinning Dante to retain the TAW World Heavyweight Championship as we continue to get ready to go in to No Escape. But after that, the Clown World Order was not done with Dante. They came out and attacked him some more. However, Krillin and Gohan came out to make the save. And that pretty much led to what happened on the next episode of TAW Rivals, where Dante joined the resistance against the Clown World Order. Moving on to the November 2nd episode of TAW Rivals, the show kicked off with the Joker vs. Gohan. And, of course, both men will be involved in the TAW Championship main event at No Escape, so this was a good chance to get each other warmed up by beating the crap out of each other. And this was a very close back-and-forth matchup. However, at the very end, the Joker attempted an O'Connor roll, but Gohan countered it and was able to pin the Joker, surprising everyone. But the Joker was unhappy with this, of course, and gave him a chokeslam and tried to attack him after the match, but Dante made the save, pretty much confirming that he's joining Gohan, Krillin, Liu Kang, Sonic, and all of them in their attempt to get rid of the Clown World Order, and thank God for that, because the more the merrier. Get rid of these clowns, for God's sakes. But up next was Chris Jericho versus William Wallace in a singles matchup, and again, this was a back-and-forth matchup. However, at the very end, Chris Jericho was able to rock William Wallace with an enziguri before putting him away with a codebreaker for the pinfall victory. And up next was another singles matchup, Anderson Silva versus Matt from the Blue Man Group. Now, it's been a little while since we've seen Anderson Silva in action. However, he appeared to have no ring rust as he was able to put Matt away easily with his sleeper hold, getting the submission victory. And up next was pretty much a revenge matchup, as Venom was trying to pay Michael Myers back for costing him the Hardcore Championship on the previous episode of TAW Action. However, it was not to be, as Michael Myers was able to defeat Venom with the last Halloween powerbomb for the pinfall victory. And our main event was a huge 6-man tag team match. The Lightning Wet champion Luigi, Elmo, and Broly versus Mario, Sonic, and Bane. Now that is a loaded matchup right there, and at the very end of this insane match was one of the coolest things that has ever happened in TAW. Mario attempted a springboard, but Luigi caught him in midair with a Hurricane Rana, but Mario rolled through and was able to pin him with a Sunset Flip. What an absolutely unbelievable combination, and pretty much stunning everybody, as Mario was able to pin the Lightning Wet champion and his brother. However, after the match, Sonic cut the celebration short by attacking his own partner, giving him the supersonic drill, letting Mario know that we may be friends right now, but at TAW No Escape, we're enemies. So pretty much laying that groundwork. And up next was a movie promo match for the Doctor Strange movie on November 4th, Doctor Strange making his official TAW debut against Slender Man. In a very well-fought match, it ended with Doctor Strange nailing Slender Man with a Dodon and then a shooting star press to win his first ever TAW matchup. And after that, Dracula cut a promo on Deadpool, pretty much explaining that he was sick and tired of fighting Deadpool as he's already beaten him several times, and was saying that he wanted this to be Deadpool's last opportunity if he beats Deadpool again. So, a lot of interest going into their championship rematch at No Escape. And up next was a very interesting match, and was a first ever for TAW, Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton on the November 8th edition of TAW. And it was a very wacky match, not your traditional TAW match in any sense of the word. However, at the very end of the match, the very hilarious match, Donald Trump was able to pin Hillary Clinton with a spine buster. And strangely enough, Donald Trump won the election, so our prediction was surprisingly accurate. I'm just as surprised as you are. And immediately following that on November 9th was the first ever TAWCT Femme Fatale draft, as me, Alex, and other members of the TAW fanbase selected who they wanted to be on their various teams for TAWCT, as we'll get more into that in a second. And finally was the 13th episode of TAWCT on November 28th of 2016. Now yes, there was a little bit of a time gap, but again, I was sick, so... And this was the first episode of TAWCT after the Overload pay-per-view event, as we prepare for the next UCT pay-per-view, Desolation. Now, the show started with a fatal 4-way elimination match to determine the #1 contender for Leonardo DiCaprio's Extreme Championship. It was Cooler versus Vladimir Putin versus Green Lantern versus Midget Brock Lesnar, and at the very end of the match, it came down to Green Lantern and Midget Lesnar. However, Green Lantern was able to pin midget Brock Lesnar, earning the number one contendership with the Light of Hope. However, after the matchup, Leonardo DiCaprio, a rival of the Green Lantern, came out and attacked Green Lantern with a baseball bat and laid him out with a decapitator. And up next was the first TAW UCT Femme Fatale tournament matchup, Xena Warrior Princess versus Trish. Now this was a highly competitive matchup. However, at the very end, Xena Warrior Princess was able to pin Trish with her finishing maneuver. And Xena Warrior Princess, again, earning entry into that triple threat matchup, well, one of two triple threats that will determine who will face who at Desolation for the Femme Fatale title. And up next was a 6-man tag team match. The UCT Lightning Weight champion Usain Bolt and the UCT Tag Team champions Captain Freedom and Sean O'Hare versus Hazmat, Johnny Ohm, and Ghostface. Now this was another highly competitive matchup, as everyone was pretty much looking for a title shot here, especially Hazmat, as he has a score to settle with Usain Bolt. However, Usain Bolt was able to pin Ghostface at the very end of the match with the Lightning Bolt. However, after the matchup, Hazmat and Johnny Ohm attacked Ghostface with a chair, unhappy with losing. Up next was the second UCT Femme Fatale matchup. It was Bulma versus Harambe, and this was a very one-sided beatdown that led to Harambe submitting Bulma with the Colossal Clutch. And again, Harambe absolutely decimated Bulma in that matchup, earning entry into that triple threat match. And up next was Leonardo DiCaprio versus Spock in a non-title matchup, as the Extreme Champion pretty much easily defeated Spock by catching him in mid-air off of the 6-1 Spock into the Decapitator for the pinfall victory. However, after that matchup, the Green Lantern retaliated, attacking Leonardo DiCaprio with a kendo stick, pretty much sending him a message, "I'm done with you, I'm going to beat the crap out of you and take your title." And up next was the third UCT Femme Fatale matchup, Harley Quinn versus Tifa Lockhart. And this was another highly competitive matchup. However, at the very end, Harley Quinn was able to lock in a very unusual submission hold, making Tifa Lockhart submit. So that triple threat matchup on a future episode of UCT will be Xena Warrior Princess, Harambe, and Harley Quinn. And on the next episode of TAW UCT, we will find out who the other three competitors for the second triple threat matchup will be. And of course, the main event of the show was Hollywood Black Hogan versus Jeff the Killer in a 2 out of 3 falls match to determine the number one contender for the TAW UCT Championship at UCT Desolation. Now, this was a very intense matchup, as Hollywood Black Hogan and Jeff the Killer have fought each other before. However, Jeff the Killer was able to earn the first pinfall with the Go to Sleep, gaining the early advantage about 15 or so minutes into the match. However, near the end, he made a critical mistake, going for a diving elbow to the outside. However, Hollywood Black Hogan was able to move out of the way, and Jeff the Killer hurt himself. And when he got back in the ring, Hollywood Black Hogan immediately capitalized with the Go to Sleep and a bunch of leg drops to gain 2 straight pinfall attempts. Well, to get 2 straight pinfalls, excuse me. And Hollywood Black Hogan is your new number one contender for the UCT Championship. And Skeeter Valentine came out and sarcastically congratulated him and let him know that he wanted to end the feud between these two. And Hollywood Black Hogan challenged Skeeter Valentine to a Hell in a Cell match at UCT Desolation. Will Skeeter Valentine accept that? Why wouldn't he, but still. And that is your TAW recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.